welcome everybody to another episode of Make America Civil Again. Before we begin, I just want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom of the video to tell me what you think about what my buddy here has to say. Today, I am here with my boy Weston, and he is a government worker, and we're going to talk about the government shutdown and how terrible it is or how awesome it is. Weston, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and yeah.
I have been working for the federal government for 9 years now as a air traffic controller.
Okay.
And so I fall under the Federal Aviation Administration, which is part of the Department of Transportation.
Okay.
Eventually that leads up to Uncle Donnie being my boss.
The Don.
Right.
You've been working through this entire shutdown thing.
Mm-hmm.
That started, I believe it's like, what, 7? Who cares about that?
We're on 23 going 24 days, I believe now.
Okay. How has this affected you and your family personally?
As far as our family goes, we have a pretty ample savings for an emergency use type of situation. I didn't exactly think it would be because my own employer is not paying me, but we have some savings available. So my situation is not as dire as a lot of other people that work for the government are. As an air traffic controller, we work in a safety-related position, and we have to go to work. It's actually against the law for us to not go to work.
So you have to work. So by law you have to work.
Exactly.
But the government who pays you doesn't have to pay you.
Right. So essentially I'm working for an IOU. The law also states that the government has to pay us back once they're open again.
Okay. What are people saying that you work with? Like, what are others?
So at work, it really adds an extra level of stress to the job. If the job wasn't stressful enough already, now people are thinking about, when am I going to get paid again? Do I have enough money to make it until they decide to open the government? And morale has gone down a ton because we're all having to show up day in and day out. The place never closes, but we're not getting paid, and we don't know when we're going to get paid next. You know, and there are guys and gals who are taking out loans, borrowing money from other people. There are certain financial institutions that are actually, giving 0% loans out to federal employees so that they can pay their bills and mortgages and car payments and things, and then pay those off right when we get paid again.
What are your thoughts on Trump shutting down the government?
The real question in my mind is, why now? The Republicans controlled the entire House and Senate for 2 years. I would have thought it was something he wanted to knock out right away.
Yeah.
Now he's battling against the current. He's got to go against the Democrats, who now control, the House. So they're going to have this stalemate until somebody gives in.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's a proper way of solving the problem.
Yeah. Because what do you think about the other government workers who are saying, hey, go for it, Trump, until you get what you want, keep the government shut down?
It's hard to tell where that information is coming from. I mean, he seems to be repeating it over and over that the federal employees agree with him on the shutdown. I don't know if that's 5 or 6 Border Patrol agents that he talked to when he was there. Sure, there may be a few that think, this is their job, and not to discredit their issues. They have issues at the border, and that's something that needs to be handled. But I think for the majority overall, especially at a 3-week to a month shutdown, people are starting to get on edge, and they're not agreeing with the shutdown any longer. Mm-hmm. If they were at one time, they're probably getting a little short and thinking, okay, it's time to stop playing games. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. Clearly, Trump is holding his ground, but the Democrats holding their side, right? And what's your personal thoughts on Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, and the fact that they voted for a wall before, but now they're saying it's immoral? What do you think about them?
Well, I feel like they need to give a little bit. I do feel like there needs to be compromise, and they need to work together. There is no working together that I've seen. There's fault there on the president's part, and there's fault on the Congress part.
Yes.
I feel like it's gotten to the point where the Congress needs to exercise their own power and possibly override the president. And I believe if they have a 2/3 majority, that they can actually say no to his request and open the government again. The Senate leader, Mitch McConnell, he is over time and time again, multiple times during the shutdown, has said, we're not even going to vote on this issue because it's not going to pass. And I don't feel like that is appropriate. We have a Senate, and their job is to vote. If you don't bring it to a vote, how are we ever going to know where it stands between the two parties and all the representatives of each state? There are even senators who have spoken out and said, bring it to a vote on the floor. I think we have enough votes, or it might be close, or let's see what we can do to work it out.
Yeah.
But he keeps blocking and saying, oh, we're not going to vote on anything that President Trump doesn't agree with. So right there, he's siding with the president, and therefore the Congress, their power's gone.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the fact that a lot of them are still getting paid, even though and they're not even at work?
I think it's ludicrous.
And you think that if the government shut down, no one in the government should get paid then?
It's 100%.
Yeah.
100%. The Congress is still getting paid. House and Senate, everyone's getting paid. They take holidays. They take long weekends. They set their schedule. I think they should, one, not get paid, and two, they should have to stay there physically and work it out until it's solved. This is something that is never appropriate. And I don't see why over and over again they feel it's okay to just hold our paychecks and our livelihoods as a bargaining tool for their budget. You know what I'm saying?
There's a congressman in Texas by the name of Dan Crenshaw who said he's not getting paid until this gets figured out. What do you think about that?
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, and I think more congressmen should take that approach. Unfortunately, we have plenty of congressmen and women who they don't even need their paycheck. So they got millions and millions of dollars. It's not going to hurt them.
Yeah, it's not.
And that's the problem with our career politicians. That's the problem with the people who have obviously gotten too comfortable with where they are and with what their job is and what they originally signed up to do when they became a representative. They're not going to take any action until they feel the consequence of not getting paid and not the government not functioning the way it should.
So do you work with anybody that agrees with the shutdown?
I do not know one person that agrees with the shutdown. I do know people who are supportive of the wall, but they also believe that this is not the proper way to address the situation.
Okay.
So there should be a separate negotiation beyond just setting the budget and running the government. America is more than just Trump supporters.
Yeah.
So when you take the office of the president, you need to consider, the well-being of all people. Not just the people who voted for you.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Trump, I feel, definitely sides towards his voters, and he's going to knock out everything he said he was going to do, which I can appreciate, the follow-through, which is good. But you need to consider everyone as you make decisions and how you go about getting it done.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, Weston, thank you so much for your time. So I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Again, tell me what you think. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom. Tell me what you think about what Weston has said about this whole government shutdown situation. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, we're out. Peace.